Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Principals Update. Bit strange this week. It's going to be a live view, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we've got sound, we've got volume coming out on a test run. New technologies being used. So we're obviously clearly in an empty building in the middle of lockdown, which is very strange. I just wanted to start by saying thank you to all the staff for their hard work over the last 2 weeks, to parents for putting up with your children at home and supporting the process of learning, and to students for engaging and working with your what's going on with all your learning being sent to you. Seen a lot of work being done. We've had feedback from students. There's a lot of work being sent to them from different students, from different staff at different times. So consequently, I wanted to say that we're going to be moving to a phase 2, and I'll be mentioning that very shortly as well. I want to thank all our key working parents, please, those working in the front line, the NHS and many of the other services. We really appreciate what you're doing. We're trying to do everything we can here to help and support you. And as a result, our key worker provision will carry on. It will also carry on through Easter as well. So if you do wish to book your child on, if you're a key worker, or if you believe your child comes under the vulnerable student process, please make sure you contact via our website. You'll see the link is to ruth.acton@auea.co.uk. Please, can you book on the day before? So on a Friday for the Monday, please, and otherwise it's the day before 2 o'clock. And that gives me time to make sure I put the staff in place here to run the provision for your child. So please do take advantage of that if you need to. And that will extend across the Easter and the bank holidays as well. We've been working hard, obviously trying to support families at home. Free school meals, you may have heard about the government talking around the voucher scheme. It's been very slow to get off the ground, unfortunately. We've moved ahead with that. We've actually made payments direct to students in sixth form and straight to parents for below 16 already to get on the forefront. And that will continue. In fact, actually, we're going to be doing that across Easter as well. Even though we're not required to do that, it's something we feel we should be doing to support your child and your family. Post-Easter, that will move to the voucher scheme, and we'll give you more information as we come back from the Easter break. Someone else should be receiving, as we go towards during Easter and just after Easter, will be a survey from Mr. Chapman. Dr. Ruby and Mr. Chapman working on this, and this will be for parents and for students to update them, or for you to update us, I should say, on a lot of the things around the home learning. That's not just around computer access. If you've got a computer, tablet, or a way to access your learning, internet as well. But I know actually many of you have got multiple children, families all fighting over not only the computer, but even broadband width in my house. And therefore, we're trying to capture some of that information and see how we can help you. Even things like stationery and books and pens and paper, things that we've got here that we may be able to get to you to help you do your learning as we enter this extended period, which clearly is what's going to be happening, unfortunately, after this 3-week initial lockdown. I've got a lot of emails from students, and I spoke with most of year 9 today, who are saying, when are we coming back? And clearly the answer is we don't want to see a school empty like this. We want you back as soon as possible when it is safe to do so. And obviously many of us were concerned this week to hear of the young people that unfortunately lost their life to COVID-19. And therefore it's really important we still follow those procedures, and you as a child follow those procedures of staying at home where it is safe. Your well-being is really important, and again, there's lots of signposts, and we'll be sending you more information about where you can get that support. And during Easter, if there's any concerns, please use Toot Toot to raise that safeguarding or well-being at this time. Something else I want to talk around then is exams. Exams for year 9s, 10 and 12 will still happen this year. So there's the breaking news. Exams will happen. Exams are really important to assess what you have learnt at home. Now, those exams may well be in a different environment. Those exams may well be completed online, at home, or in other methods, but you will be assessed on what you've done at home. Clearly, it won't be assessing what you've watched on Netflix last night, House Party, anything else which is distracting you at the moment. So my message is, please make sure after Easter you're fully engaged with your learning. We've also received today, all schools have received the latest information from the DfE in regards to how calculated grades are going to work. This is quite complicated, and I know it's caused a lot of anxiety for parents and for students. And what they are reassuring us is that the whole methodology is going to mean that the grades are going to look very similar to other years. Now, Ms. Salisbury will be doing a full video update on this, processing all that information, and that will come to you very, very shortly. There's also information available on my update to prospective applicants as well. You can find out more information about the grade system on there. What I would say, though, I've also had lots of emails at the same time around your mock results, especially from year 11 and year 13 and 14. You worked really hard, and I know how hard you worked and the improvement that you were looking at from your mock 1 to your mock 2, and I thank you for that. Unfortunately, I am not able to release that grade to you at this moment. And the reason, very simple, is that grade is forming part of the assessment process towards your calculated grade. And as a result of that, the DfE have asked all those grades to be withheld currently. I know that is frustrating. I know it might seem a bit strange why they're doing that, but it is really important that we make sure that the very best grade is put forward to the department for you, and therefore that grade is not going to be shared at this present time. So I apologise for that. It's not our job. We don't want to be withholding that information from you, but at this time that's a requirement that's been coming from the Secretary of State and from the DfE. BTEC, though, I must talk about BTEC. The information around the calculated grade applies to your GCSE grades and applies to your A-level grades. That is absolutely important that you understand and that you see what is going on with those grades. With your BTEC, though, at the moment, it's carry on. We've not been given the clear endpoint of your BTEC. There may be still more work that you are required to do to sign off your BTEC, so do not stop working. On the note of working, I've mentioned for year 9, 10 and 12, it's vital you carry on doing your schoolwork. Okay, I had a student write to me. In fact, it was one of the articles, and I apologise. As you can clearly see, I'm stood here in the school. I have not yet released your competition for principals competition, the winners. I was inundated with entries, which was fantastic. But I had a really, really good one that was put in place. I think it was Megan who sent in one and talked around that she was in year 12, and actually, in fairness, a lot of the news and a lot of the pieces were all talking about year 11 and year 13, and why should she feel sorry for them, and why should we all feel sorry for them? Because it's absolutely true, because actually you've done the work. And she's absolutely right. You have done the work, and in fact, in many cases, you're about to go on to exam leave anyway. So you've done the learning. You're now going to have a calculated grade for your GCSEs and your A-levels, and for BTEC, obviously, you've got to do the work on there. But what about years 9 and especially years 10 and years 12? This gap from your learning is huge, and the concern around it is the implication. Next year, it will not be a calculated grade. You will be sitting your A-levels or your GCSEs. So it's really important that you do the work, that you do not get into bad habits, that you do not spend most of the evening watching TV or the rest of it and sleeping in the day. You must be attending your LRGs after Easter, signing with the members of staff, checking in and doing your work. You cannot afford to fall behind in your studies. So next 2 weeks, school will be virtually closed. LRGs won't be happening. Staff won't be setting work or answering emails during that time because they're on holiday. AUEA will be open if needed for key worker provision. When we return after Easter, we'll return to phase 2. Phase 2 will be slightly different to currently how home learning is being done. It will consolidate a lot more, as well as providing more opportunities for face-to-face teaching. You'll be focused on certain lessons on certain periods in the day only, allowing those members of staff greater control of what you're doing, greater monitoring, and most importantly, better communication back to parents about the work that's being done in those subjects and the progress that your child is making at home. So that sort of summarizes what's going on to you. A lot going on, more videos to follow, and Miss Salisbury will be posting her video in regards the calculator grade, more detail, and Miss Benny will be posting a video shortly to you, again coming up over the next week or so around the UCAS. And she's been in conversation today, meeting today with myself and the university around your process of UCAS and making sure those decisions are really key coming up for you in the next UCAS progress. So I'll say goodbye. I wish you a happy Easter to everybody. Stay safe, stay indoors, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.